Hello and welcome to the Irish NFL Show. My name is Shane Brennan. I'm here with Brian O'Leary, continuing our reactions to the NFL International slate. And we're talking about the second London game in Tottenham Hotspur Stadium as the NFC East tour continues after knowing that the Washington Commanders are playing the first game, hosting the first game in Tottenham. The second game, we'll see the Jacksonville Jaguars host the Philadelphia Eagles. We know there's a lot of Eagles fans out there, Brian. Not us, but there are a lot of Philadelphia Eagles fans out there across Ireland and the UK, and they will certainly bring the noise to what I think is the best stadium the NFL plays in every year. Not just in an international sense, but anywhere in the world that it plays in. And they're going to bring a hell of a lot of noise to Tottenham Hotspur Stadium for a pretty interesting match between two teams who are very much in playoff, indeed Super Bowl conversations.
We had the Dublin game last year, Shane. It was someone said to us, not Irish, that after the game, that felt more like a home game for a team as opposed to what we see in internationally when we go to London, whether it's Tottenham, that's a mixture of all these very different fans. And of course, there will be. But the one thing we do know is there's Eagles fans in Ireland and the UK and across Europe that will be making their way to London in their droves to be at this game. I can only imagine what the atmosphere will be like come that game. In fact, it'll be unique. We've seen some really stellar games in London over the last 3 or 4 years where fans have totally outweighed the opponents, such as even the Bills when they played the Jags. Despite the Jags winning, the stadium was full of Bills fans. I could see a scenario like that where the Jags fans are going to be outweighed by the number of the Eagles fans. It would be a sea of green. And it's an interesting season for this Eagles team. And then, like, they're coming off an NFC East title, but we all felt like they weren't right coming towards the back end of the season. There's the AJ Brown saga, which rumbles on. It looks like he'll be traded away come post June the 1st. Things aren't right there. There's been conversations with Sirianni. There's been articles and synopses around whether they're really fully invested in Hurts. This is going to be a really interesting season for the Eagles, and now we've got them coming over internationally to play against the Jags. The Jags team, as we spoke about previously, that are coming off a really stellar season. It's one of the better games that I imagine we'll experience in this season's suite of games because both teams are going to have high expectations going into 26.
Bit of history on this one. The last time two of these teams played against each other in London was in 2018 in Wembley Stadium. Carson Wentz versus Blake Bortles, a game where both quarterbacks had exactly 286 passing yards. If that happens again in this matchup, I just wouldn't believe it, really. What I'm interested in seeing, though, is just how frustrated will Nick Sirianni be by the time we get to this game. So we're a few weeks into the season. We know it's going to be very pivotal in what way the Eagles season comes out. This is year, and I've been clear on this for as long as I've been on this podcast since I came back from my long absence. The Commanders is going to be very competitive in this division. I think the Giants are going to be very competitive in this division, and the Cowboys are going to be competitive for this division. By the time we come here, how much is the pressure going to be on Nick Sirianni and co. To try and deliver results? And I can't wait to see Saquon Barkley in the flesh, as we hope he will be fit. I want to see Jalen Hurts being able to really, I guess, sling it a bit more, which, depends. If it doesn't have AJ Brown, it might necessarily have any sort of A-grade targets to throw to.
You had to squeeze the lemon this time around, Shane.
Of course. But this is the thing, is like, it's the great melodrama of the Philadelphia Eagles. Super Bowl champions 2 years past. Wouldn't shock anybody if they won the NFC this year. But they're coming into a game here against a Jaguars team we're very comfortable playing in London. Yes, you're going to have a lot of fans, Philadelphia fans in there. Are they going to be, and I imagine a lot of fans flying over from Philadelphia, but are they going to be Philadelphia fans like they are in Philly, in which they're booing their own team? Or will that give Philadelphia a bit more space to try and play? I guess it's a Jacksonville team who we know can be incredibly potent when they want to be. This clash has got, we're going to have so much riding on it, but it's going to be so fun. I'm looking forward to talking to Nick Sirianni afterwards. Is he going to try and do what he did a couple of years ago when they played the Bengals and bring his kids into the press conference and try to sit them down so he doesn't get any harsh questioning from blokes with British and Irish accents? Who knows? We just never know what happens. It's always funny with Philadelphia.
You're assuming he's going to bring the kids over. I mean, these are supposed to be business trips, not family trips, Shane. He may not decide to bring the kids to London, or maybe they want to experience the other side of the world and see, have a day out in London with Big Ben. Saquon Barkley you touched on there. Saquon Barkley scored a winning touchdown in Tottenham in 2022 for then the New York Giants beating the Packers. That was a great game. If we got a game half as good as that, we'd be blessed. But despite my love for the Giants, I also love the NFC East, and I love the competitiveness of the division. And the Eagles are going to be thereabouts. So to see them in the flesh in London is going to be really good. It's one of those games we'll look forward to come October as the new season gets closer and closer.
the NFC East is the most Premier League of the divisions in the way everyone's just chippy at each other, but still like always enticed to watch each other's games. So it should be good fun when that game comes across the Atlantic. That's it for now for this episode. Keep an eye on your feeds. We'll be doing quick reactions towards all of the NFL international games from now. Thank you very much for listening to the Irish NFL Show.